going to a doctor's appointment today. I have to have a psych eval done before I can have the surgery. So that's where I'm headed today. And yeah, so that's what we're doing. I've never been to this clinic before, but that's okay. I yesterday went to the dentist because I've had a tooth that's been bothering me, and actually has been bothering me for a while. I had a root canal done on this tooth 2 years ago, and when I had it done, the doctor told me then that I could probably have an issue because there was something else up there, but he couldn't get to it or whatever. And so now 2 years later, of course, I'm having problems, but he was very nice and fixed it. But I ended up having what they kind of thought they would do was another root canal. But they technically did do a root canal, but they did it from my gums. So they cut my gums open up top and did the root canal, and then I also had an abscess that was entangled with 2 roots, and so he had to go in during that and clean that out and then fix me up. So I had that done yesterday. I didn't know I was going to have that done yesterday. I just kind of thought I would have another root canal and whatever, but so I'm swelled and a little bit in pain, not too bad, because I've been taking ibuprofen, and they said to mix ibuprofen and extra strength Tylenol, and that would do the job, and it has. So that has been my life for me. And then we took the kids to the urgent care yesterday evening because they have had a persistent cough and runny nose for at least a month, and the primary doctor was like, it's probably just allergies, and so to do Zyrtec and then let them know. Well, you know how it is to get into your primary, it's a pain. So we just took them to the urgent care, and the urgent care doctor, she said that, so Whitney has an ear infection in the right ear. The left ear, she couldn't tell because there was wax, but she said, if she has an ear infection in the left ear too, the medicine will treat both. So there wasn't a reason to put Whitney through removing the wax just to check that ear when the other ear definitely has an ear infection. So then Maverick, she checked him, and she asked him before, she's like, do your ears hurt? He was like, no. Does your chest hurt? Your throat? Blah, blah, blah. And he said no to everything. And so then when she checked him, she was like, on the right ear, she was like, are you sure this ear doesn't hurt? He's like, no. And she was like, okay. So she checked his ears, listened to him, and she said, well, she said he definitely has ear infections in both ears, and she thinks the right ear has ruptured. So we're doing amoxicillin for both of the kids, and then Maverick's lungs sounded like they had some gunky stuff in them, and so she wants him to start doing albuterol breathing treatments. So we just have to get the nebulizer, and then we can start those. So that's going to be an event. Maverick, poor kid, does not take medicine very well at all. He's got the best medicine right now because it's the amoxicillin, it's the bubblegum medicine, but he won't, he acts like it doesn't taste good when we know it tastes good. So he just has in his head that it's doesn't taste good, and it isn't going to taste good, and it's going to make him throw up. He's got a super sensitive gag reflex, and so yeah, so that's been a challenge. He did take it this morning and didn't throw up, and by the end of it, he was like, oh, I like this. So fingers crossed tonight, he still likes it. So hopefully we'll see. But yeah, so I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to have stitches for at least a week, maybe a week and a half. I'm supposed to stay on the ibuprofen, Tylenol for a couple of days, every 6 hours. I have a pretty high pain tolerance though, so I took them this morning, and I probably won't take any again until like bedtime, because I mean, I don't know, I have a high pain tolerance. I don't know. So yeah, so we're going to the doctor, and hopefully it is a good appointment. I don't know really what to expect. We'll see. And then I have to get gas while I'm down there because it'll be cheaper. And then I have to run somewhere and get some baking soda. And I want to run to Meijer because it's the closest Meijer to us, and it's like 45 minutes away. And I'm never down here usually. And so I think I'm gonna run to Meijer too. And maybe get the probably just get the baking soda there, and then poke around a little bit. I probably won't get anything other than baking soda. I just want to look around and peruse a little bit because I just love Meijer. And so that's the plan. So we'll see. John is home with the kids, so we'll see what I end up getting up to. But they're doing road construction on this road, and typically they do it like during the summer, and so I'm not really sure why it's lasting through the winter or fall into winter. I guess it's technically not winter, but I don't know. So we'll see. I feel all swollen and puffy, and then it's weird because I can feel the stitches. Like I don't feel them all the time, but I can feel them with my tongue, and so that's weird. You can't see them; they're like a clear stitch. So that's an interesting feeling. And I have to do this mouthwash, which is it's a antibiotic mouthwash, and I remember having to do it when I had my wisdom teeth taken out, which was like years and years ago. And so it's funny to have that kind of like memory of it because of the taste. It still tastes the same. So that, yeah, is kind of funny, but I don't know. Anyway, I do have an on-scale victory. I've not talked a lot about my weight loss stuff because it's just weird, because I've always been losing weight or trying to lose weight and being on a diet or whatever. And so it just feels weird to talk about because there's always that fear of like, oh, you're just going to gain it back. But I have jeans on, and today will be the second day in a row that I've worn jeans. And I don't really remember the last time that I even put jeans on and was like comfortable enough to wear them. I remember the last time I put jeans on one day, and I like literally didn't even get them up to my thighs. Like I got them to my knees, and I was like, no, this is nope, not doing this. So the fact that I've worn jeans 2 days in a row is really like exciting for me, and feels good. But I have lost 23 pounds as of Monday when I weighed, and which I'm interested to see. Like I'll weigh Monday again. really thick protein yogurt. And so I thin it out with like a tablespoon of the sugar-free peppermint mocha, and then I add cinnamon. And so that's what I've been having for like a bedtime snack, and it's really been helpful because like I'm not hungry, and like there's been, my biggest struggle has been like late night snacking, like after everyone has gone to bed and it's just me awake. Like I just want to eat Little Debbie things like oatmeal cream pies or Swiss rolls or anything like that, because it's a comfort food, and that I'm very much an emotional eater, and so that is my hardest thing. Or like afternoon when I'm not hungry, but before I would just munch because I'm bored. Like there's several times lately that I like literally just have to tell myself in my brain, like, you're not hungry, you're bored. You're not hungry, you're bored. And so like I'll get, water, or I really like the zero, Powerade Zero. I really like that. And so I'll drink those, or I'll drink water. I have this, okay, I was doing, like basically every day I would have an energy drink. And I'm really sorry this is so shaky. Like this road is terrible, and I'm sorry, so bear with me. But I would have an energy drink basically every afternoon, and it would be like a sugar-free one. So I mean, like there's that, but with the surgery they want you to be caffeine-free leading up to the surgery. So one of my goals for this month was to go from everyday energy drinks to 3 times a day. Well, I did that for like a week, and then I was like, this is dumb, and so I just stopped getting the energy drinks. And so I did have an energy drink a few days ago, but it hasn't like spiraled me into wanting them every day, which is good. But something I have found that I am using as kind of like a pick-me-up treat is I will make another coffee in the afternoon. And so I've got to figure out a way to still kind of have that pick-me-up treat, but not be caffeine. And what I'm thinking of trying to do, I'm going to have to ask my dietitian if this is okay, but which I think it will be, but like adding another protein shake in the afternoon instead of like a coffee, just doing a straight protein shake with some of the sugar-free creamer, and see what she thinks about that. So I'm also supposed to be having more vegetables. I really struggled with vegetables because I don't know why, I just do. And like lunch is fine because I'll do raw vegetables, but like of course right now I have to be careful. So like I can't really do carrots or celery. So basically my vegetables now are gonna have to be cooked, and I just really struggle with cooked vegetables. I don't know why. I just do. It's not even that I don't like them. I just really, really struggle with eating them. So I've got to get that kind of more figured out. But I'm feeling really good. We increased the Vyvanse because I was feeling really out of control last month. Like I was really, really, really struggling last month. I didn't track at all. I was eating really badly. I did still lose weight, but I just I was not happy with what I was eating. So this month has been a lot better, and I think now that I have the increased Vyvanse, that's just going to continue to get better, because I feel like I really, really, really feel like the Vyvanse has been helpful for me know that sounds really dumb, but like, I didn't know I was a binge eater. I assumed I was a binge eater, but I didn't know that you could be a binge eater without the purging. Because, I mean, that's just what I've always heard it associated, binge and purge, binge and purge. That's just how I've always heard it associated. I didn't know that being a binge eater, which this sounds so stupid, but like, I didn't know that that was a thing too. That you could just be a binge eater and still need help with it. Like, I didn't know that. I just assumed I was an emotional eater and a binge eater, and that was just my lot in life, honestly. And I just didn't know. I didn't know that that was something you could get help for. And that, I am not kidding, that alone has been astronomically life-changing. To be able to look around my kitchen and see, cookies or chips, or even knowing like where the snacks are in our house or where the Little Debbies are in our house, like even being able to know where those things are and not have to go get them because I need a snack, or I've got to eat something, even though I just ate, has been so unbelievably beneficial. And like, I just pray I can be on Vyvanse for the rest of my life, because that has just been so helpful that I can't even begin to describe how grateful I am to have found this medicine to be able to reclaim my brain. And I know that sounds really dumb, but like, it's true. So anyway, that was a long rant. I've been talking for 20 minutes. So anyway, I, Lord, am going to go and stop talking because I'm going to have to talk to these people, and so I need stuff to talk about. And anyway, I'll see you guys after my appointment. Alright, we're back. I'm going to get gas, and then I'm going to go do some shopping at Meijer, just some, probably mostly window shopping. Like I said, I'm never down here by Meijer, and so I just want to go look and peruse. But that appointment was fine. It went really well. The doctor was really, really good. He said I could still see him if I needed to. And they have like telehealth, and so like if I didn't want to come to the office or whatever. And so I'm going to keep that in mind, because there has been several times that I wish I had someone like a psychiatrist. And since he is versed in the weight loss surgery, he would be a good one to go to. So yeah, he did mention, he kind of explained the whole thing, that like they cut your stomach and make it smaller, and then they leave the other stomach because it does still produce stuff. And then they bypass some of the intestines, and that really changes how the body absorbs things. So like alcohol, for example, which I don't drink, but if I did drink, or if I would want to drink in the future, basically like what your body process, so like he said was, typically when you drink, it takes 30 minutes to get into like your blood system and stuff and like circulate through, but with gastric bypass it takes 5 minutes. And so like one drink would really equate to like 3. And that there have been people who have had gastric bypass who have got DUIs by 1 drink. And so to like keep that in mind, like protein intake, vitamin intake, I'll have to take more vitamins, and I'll have to have more protein for the rest of my life. My body won't normal. And so, you know, to keep that in mind, he asked, like, if I'm on any depression and anxiety medicine, which I'm on Lexapro, and basically wanted to know last time I had suicidal thoughts, which was really more like 4 years ago after my son was born, postpartum and all, you know. So it was really good, and actually I would like to see him again sometime, just to kind of have someone. So that's that. I'm gonna go get gas, and then we're gonna go to Meijer. Okay, we're back. Because I thought of something that he mentioned, and so one of the things he asked is what I wanted to get down to, what weight I wanted to lose. And I've not really ever thought about a number, because I've been overweight for so long. Like, the idea of this magic healthy number has been so like far out of my reach for so long. And so when he asked, I was like, oh, like 170. And he was like, yeah, you know, 170 or 180, and then just stay there would be really good for you. And I was like, the first time I have ever like felt like it was okay to be in the higher 100s, because like typically it's always like you got to be 120, 130, you can't be higher than 150, you know what I mean? And so it's like the thought that it would be okay if I got to 170 or 180 and just stayed there, like that to me really was like reassuring and a big thing. Because again, like typically you always think, oh, I gotta be like 100 pounds or like 120 or whatever, 115. And so the fact that it's okay to be in the higher 100s, like really made me feel encouraged. And I just like was really surprised. Like, I was not expecting him to say that at all. Because again, like I just assumed it would be, oh, you really need to get down to like 120, and that really would be the healthy spot for you. Which, I mean, he's a psychiatrist, and so like obviously, but I'm gonna be honest, like I kind of would take his opinions over my primaries, because I think some doctors are just so stuck on a number that, excuse me, sometimes they can't think about the overall health of a person. Sometimes, I know that sounds dumb to say about a doctor, but it just seems like sometimes doctors get so number-y that it's like, but if I'm healthy at 180 or 170 or somewhere in between there, what does it matter if I'm unhealthy at 120? That's not good, you know. I think people forget that you can be unhealthy at any weight, and you can be healthy at any weight. So, yeah. Anyway, okay, I gotta get gas. Goodbye. Okay, I'm back in the car from Meijer. The only thing I bought baking soda. Because I have a little girl at home who is on antibiotic and it's just hurting her little behind. So we're gonna go home and take care of that for her by giving her a baking soda bath. And that will help tremendously. So I needed to make sure that I had enough baking soda to give her as many baths as her little booty needs. So, because that poor girl. What the heck is that over there? The hills. The hills. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a gym. Maybe a church. I don't know. Could be either. Anymore, you don't know. Alright, I am heading home and I will probably see you guys